is love. Our vision is love. Jamaicans for justice. The people's champion, champion, champion. Justice, justice for all. Justice under the law. Justice, Jamaica demand. Right to life, right to liberty. Justice, justice for all. Justice under the law. Justice, the people demand. Right to life and security. Oh, what a joy.
Happy Tuesday. It is 1 p.m. It is time for Let's Talk Justice on the Bridge 99. I am Jade Williams, the Policy and Advocacy Specialist at Jamaicans for Justice. Normally, we would have been joined by my co-host, Miss Michael Jackson, our Executive Director at Jamaicans for Justice. But she's a little under the weather today, so send her your well wishes. And I'll be holding down the fort for this episode. So today's episode, we're focusing on the matter of Mario Deane, one of JFJ's long-standing cases. We have been supporting Mario's family throughout the ordeal that they've been through since 2014. So we'll be having a discussion about that case, having a discussion about where it is now, where the family is, how things have progressed. And we look forward to that discussion a bit later. But of course, we start with our recap. So today we're going to focus on National Heroes Day. That was yesterday, October 16th. And later in the show, we will talk about a few other important things that would have arisen over the past week or so. But that will come later. So firstly, we talk about National Heroes Day. And as you know, that day is to celebrate those of us who have made significant contributions to our country, to our citizenry, to our history. And as a part of that celebration, we would have the National Honors and Awards ceremony, where we give out our National Honors and Awards, which there are several of them, our Order of National Hero, Nation, Excellence, Merit, several of them. So we saw a total of 126 persons being awarded national awards yesterday. 5 persons received the Order of Jamaica, which was the highest award given yesterday. So we would have seen Audley Shaw, Marcia Griffiths, Reverend Howard Gregory, Charles Johnson, and Paul P.B. Scott, all receiving the Order of Jamaica. Yesterday, we also saw 27 persons receive the Order of Distinction under the rank of Commander. Order of Distinction has 2 ranks. So under the rank of Commander, we would have seen, for example, Clive Campbell, who is DJ Kool Herc, receive an award, as well as John Mahfood. We would have also seen 36 persons receive that same Order of Distinction as rank of officer, including Taurus Riley and Wayne Marshall. We would have seen 2 persons receive the Badge of Honor for Gallantry, which you receive when you do a certain act of service. And this was received by 2 citizens who would have saved some female passengers in a burning vehicle, with no regard for their own safety at the time. But thankfully, everyone is okay from that incident. 28 badges of honor for meritorious service, and another 28 for long and faithful service. So congratulations to those of us, our fellow Jamaicans, who were awarded. Thank you for your contribution that would have allowed for you to be nominated and for you to receive this award. And I think it's something that's important in remembering our history and remembering those persons who have contributed positively to our history. And JFJ hopes to continue to contribute to that effort in learning. We would be launching our youth book that covers both civics and human rights in January of 2025. So hopefully we can help to document some of those significant historical moments. All right, so we'll go now straight into our right of the day today, which is your Charter of Fundamental Rights and Freedom, Section 13.3a, and it speaks to your right to life, liberty, and security of the person, and that right should not be deprived except in sentencing of a court in respect of a criminal offense for which you have been convicted. So outside of that conviction, you have the right to have your life, liberty, and security of the person protected. And our trivia question for today is, name 3 categories of persons who are exempt from jury duty in Jamaica. And you may not know why we're asking a question about jury duty in the context of what we're talking about in the rights, but we'll discuss it as we discuss some of the nuances in Mario Deane's case. So we're going to go into our main topic, which is unpacking some of these issues that arose in Mario's case and understanding where we are now. Now, Mario was a 31-year-old young man, and he lost his life in 2014 while in police custody on a marijuana-related charge, which now that's a charge that no longer even exists. But he had been held in custody at that time and would have died while in custody. Now, in 2020, 2 of the persons who were inmates with Mario at that time had pled guilty to the offense of manslaughter, for which they were charged in relation to Mario's death. However, this matter took 6 years before they pled guilty due to numerous delays for varying reasons, many of which would have been administrative delays or delays that could have been remedied through swifter action by certain actors. Then there is the follow-up case that would have involved an additional 3 officers that were charged with manslaughter along with 2 other charges. Now, these officers, their initial trial date was September 21st, 2017, and since that time, we have seen a number of postponements, no less than 10 delays would have occurred in the matter between 2017 and 2022. We are now in 2023. The most recent court date was September 25th, 2023, and the matter was again postponed, adjourned until a further date in February of 2024. So we are from 2014 to now, 9 going on 10 years into this matter. Now, these setbacks, similar to the first case, have been related to administrative lapses. There are issues of missing reports. There is a shortage of eligible jurors, which was one of the issues that caused the most recent delay. Now, since Mario's death, his mother, Miss Fraser Mercia, has been steadfast in pursuing justice for her son. She is at the court cases each date, and it is delayed, and she comes back to the next one. And when it is that these delays were most rampant, she had started her public protest in the matter to bring attention and awareness to it. So we ask ourselves, how has this impacted those persons who are related to Mario? How are they going forward? And what is it that can be done for us to remedy some of the challenges that we've seen in this matter? So we're going to be joined by Miss Mercia Fraser. I hope she's on now. Okay, so we're still trying to get her on the line. But this is one of those matters that, you know, it took place in Montego Bay. I'm from Montego Bay, and I can remember hearing the story. And it is something that continues to have a serious impact on the way that we think about how persons are held in custody. So I believe we're told that Miss Fraser is on. Miss Fraser?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so for our listeners, we are familiar with Mario at JFJ, having been following you and his matter for so long. But for those of us who are listening, just give us a brief synopsis. Who was Mario?
All right. Deane was just a simple young man who loves to work, as any young man. And, Jamaican youths, most of them nowadays smoke marijuana. So he was going to work on that morning. And give you a minute, I'm breathing short.
Yes.
So he was going to work on that morning and, get stopped by the police, fined with some marijuana spliff and was arrested. Hours later, like within 4 hours, he was brain dead in the hospital. But a quiet young man, finish high school, do a lot of little courses. So he wasn't one who would sit down and just on the corner doing nothing. He was always working or going to school,
Yeah. I think some of the times when we hear about somebody being in custody, we forget that they are a fulsome person, that would have been able to contribute to our society and have contributed to our society in ways that maybe we don't appreciate,
Exactly.
But yes, so I'm glad that you introduced him a little, and you also would have introduced a little of the incident that have us having this conversation here today. Now, one of the issues that we would have seen as JFJ coming with you to these matters is that there are consistent delays, consistent reasons for the matter to be sent back and for you to get a new date. So I know you won't be able to give me all of the technical terms that they would have used in court, but what, if any, reasons would you have heard as to why the matter is not going forward in the way that we would expect?
Wow. There were, in the beginning, there was just a whole lot of stuff, maybe even from just having a disk to put information, or there was just a whole lot of things. Presently, though, it refers to jurors. They can't get jurors. Nobody really wants to stand to be a juror on this case, And, if you look into how Jamaica is going right now, tell her the truth, I would be afraid to.
So you think it's fair why the jurors don't want to be a part of the case?
I wouldn't look and it as fair. You have to understand, as I said, the real how things set now. So to them it is fair. And to be honest, it is fair because we are from the same community, right around St. James, and that people are touched by a thing like this. Especially those from his community, knowing that he's not a bad young man. People are touched by this, And therefore, if you are to go and give your honest opinion on this, you went to look into it and give your honest opinion. You don't know what will happen to a person. People are fearful. And as I said, I would be fearful also. So, I don't know if fear is the right word to use. I don't know. But yes, just use that word. It's fair enough. Human beings are human beings, and all of us have fear in us. Even the boldest of us have a little fear in us.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna take a brief break in a minute or so, but when we come back, I really want you to give me an idea of how long are we talking here. I know that there was one matter that was resolved, or at least it came to an end, so we can talk a little bit about how you felt about that resolution, and we'll take some of your thoughts on what needs to be done to go forward in Mario's case. So please stay with us while we take the break.
Hi, I'm Ronald Thwaites, and I'm the host of The Public Eye and The Open Mind on The Bridge 99 and Irie Jam in the tri-state area. This program will tell you the truth about life backyard. Fair, open talk. No gossip, no slander. We want to listen to your concerns. Also want to help you with your problems in JA. We at The Bridge rate you and affirm our oneness as citizens of this blessed land we love. So join us now on Wednesdays on the bridge, crossing the waters, linking Jamaicans and Jamaican lovers everywhere.
Up and Go, the Diaspora's #1 morning show, right here on The Bridge, 99 FM. Up and Go brings borderless connections in real time and covers the latest news, people's views, and entertainment features like no other. Wake up with us. We've got you covered. 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. We give you more in the morning, right here on The Bridge, 99 FM.
Yo, dancehall can't start when the money must shut the content.
Right.
Introducing the Bridge 99 FM Dance Hall Chart Show.
I are the one and they are what?
All about our weekly top 10 music countdown, our Bridge Spotlight featuring artists and music producers, and our chat with the Bridge Jocks and music director.
We bring you in on the action. Just send your videos every week for your favorite artists on the chart in our Fan Affairs segment. Do it WhatsApp 876-551-5782.
Jogger!
It's new, it's authentic, it's trend-setting, and only on The Bridge 99 FM Dance Hall Chart Show, hosted by Shell.
You know the vibes this Friday at 1 p.m. at the wickedest thing since dancehall. You know the thing go, we're bringing the vibes to the where, to the what, to the world.
Never wanna give this love to no one but you. Tell Bridge Jamaica we love you. Bridge 99, we love you. Bridge 99 FM, couldn't be better. The people's champion. Our mission is love. Our vision is love. Jamaicans for justice. The people's champion. Justice for all. Justice.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Justice. Today we are discussing the case of Mario Deane, and we are joined by his mother and activist Mercia Fraser. Mercia, are you back with us?
Yes, I am.
Okay, great. So, one of the things I wanted to ask was, as Mario's mother, how much information are you given by those persons who are prosecuting his case? Like, how are you told, for example, before there is a delay that there might be one, or like what kind of liaison are you getting?
No, I don't get any information like that. Like before there be a delay, I just go to court, and then when they say there's a delay, then I know there's a delay. Other from that, I don't know firsthand that, that's where it's going.
Is it something that you're able to, is there someone that you're able to reach out to get updates on the matter, anything like that?
I'll reach out to Hindicom whenever I want any information, because they're following their part of the system. Mm-hmm. And so forth, if I want any information, I will just call the person in charge of my case, mm-hmm. and then she will tell me what she knows.
Okay, well, I'm glad to see that Indicom has been able to fill a gap there and keep you informed about what the proceedings are. So I know there was an initial matter against the inmates who ended up pleading guilty about 3 years ago. I wonder what, if any, impact that would have had on you or your family, the Mario's community, if any.
Well, it impacts us a lot, and looking to the case, and they're saying that these 3 young men who is of unsound mind, and some of the things I heard, I know that I would believe that's not them, mm-hmm. right? And even so, why would you put a senior man into a cell with 3 unsound men, mm-hmm. right? And you know of them because they are saying that one of them is violent. You know that he's violent, so why would you take a sane person and put him there? Mm-hmm. It just doesn't make sense, and the kind of blow that Maria get, it doesn't make sense to me. Honestly, from the blow he got, it doesn't make sense to me because if three insane man beating you, they hit you all over your body. They're gonna just hit you, right? And from what I get, he had a blow at the back of his head, one over his eye, both eye, one of the eyes solid and that. And, I searched his body when I went into the hospital. I see no blow all over his body. So, I mean, it leaves questions. It leaves questions.
Yeah. So once that case was resolved, what was the sentiment? Were people happy? Was it just, it is what it is? How did it end up feeling?
I tell you, the family for those people happy, but I didn't talk to much people, but those that really said something to me, they don't believe either that those young men did it. People will come up to me and say, "Mother, no watch nothing, leave it in God's hand, you will know Sienna them do it," and stuff like that, So in light of that, from that I can tell you that people who spoke with me don't believe that it's a madman do it. But as I said, if you don't have evidence, what are we to do? The one evidence that I was looking forward to show up and share what he knows, he ended up dead.
Yes, I do recall that there was supposed to be a witness in that case that ended up dying while the case was waiting to be heard, which was really unfortunate. So now we're here. It's 2023. This has been going on since 2014. So how did you feel when you went to the last court date to be told, okay, you have to come back again next year?
I tell you, even though I expected it's just it ripped me to the heart because it's like, you ever hear them say you rub salt in wound?
Yes.
It's like rubbing salt in my wound. It's just each time I went on all this, it's just like rubbing salt in my wound, or somebody step on your sore foot, so you hurt it all over again. And that's exactly how I feel. It's just like you keep bringing back the thing, you keep putting blow. You say the person is hurt, but you keep putting blow, It's not nice and it's not easy.
I know that a few years ago when the delays in the first case were ongoing, you had started a little protest movement. I don't know if you want to tell us a little bit about what that was and what was the purpose of it?
It was the same thing about the court, what's going on in court. And other from what's going on in court, what used to happen to me, I was intimidated a lot. So that was just my way of fighting back. It was just my way of fighting back. I did nothing wrong. You hurt me. You continue to treat me as if I'm the one who's supposed to run away because I get hurt. And, going in court and see, every time this thing put off, it was like a joke business, or they, it's like they want to spite you or to get fed up, and then you step outside, you're being intimidated, you stare down, you stand up beside you, like rub shoulder, you put phone in face, and all those things used to happen. And that was just my way of just dealing with it. And you might think I stopped, and the only reason why right now I stopped, there is just so much crime going on in the country, and there's so much to deal with, plus COVID coming and that, and, I relax. And I'm trying hard not to go back, to leave it, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure right now. My family keeps saying, it's all right, just let it go. Don't go back out there. And most of them, they're just fearful of my life because they don't like when I go in man to go be able to do that and that I could get hurt. And so it is that they keep telling me don't. And
could you tell us a little bit about those earlier events that you would have had? Anyone that stands out to you, or so? Maybe the first one.
That stand out to me, like support.
Yeah, like I know that while you were doing the protest, I know you did it for quite some time. So if you could just tell us a little bit about what it was like to be in the town actually doing the protest? What kind of support did you receive?
You have a few people, and I tell you, even though you don't see people stand with me, they will drive past, they will make their comments, they will slow down. And I can remember a young lady at one point, which touched my heart greatly. She was in a taxi going about her business, and when she drive down and see me there, she called out to me and she said, "Maria, dear mommy, I'm proud of you." And she stopped the taxi and come out of the taxi and she come and stand up with me about 15 minutes or so. And she said, "I'm going somewhere. If I wasn't going somewhere, I'd stay with you, mommy. I feel it for you." And then I asked her, "Do you know Mario?" And she said, "Yeah, I work with him." I work with him. He was a quiet young man. He just give you a little smile and he come in and he says good morning, give you a little smile, but he doesn't talk much. And, I think it's 2 or 3 of them would, girls that I remember did that. But people would pass by, they met the comment. I can remember one time the cars were coming down and this man coming down and said they would not give us a little break, and the, TVJ was there and everything. And the man turned his vehicle across in the road just for us to, to get what's done. So, people, even though I didn't have a crowd, there were the comments that passed by, give me the courage to say, yeah, people is with me. They might not come out and be with me, stand up, but people have to go about their business. A 5 minutes or that, or they make the comment and, they leave. And so, but who disappoints me? I'm going to bring this in because, I really didn't talk about it. The Rasta community, the people who use marijuana the most, I was expecting those people to really stand up, because for a split, and he ended up dead, in government protection, which I was saying that, all right, if he arrested for a split, I wasn't even thinking that he would be in a cell. I think maybe he would be on a bench or something until, he released. Yeah. But these people, those are the ones who have never seen. I think at one point there was this man that came and stand up with me a little bit. Apart from Muta. Muta came when I was in halfway tree 1 year, and Muta came and stand out there with me. Big up to Muta for that because, he's a busy man, and if he can take some time out of his time. But if you look at youth, that he used, none of them. And the mere fact that those that get the ride and to say, all right, you cannot be arrested for a spiff again. Nobody feel your pain. Nobody, they will say what they want to say on the corner, but that's it. And sometimes you have to sympathize, with them, because sometimes fear. You don't want to go there and let police mark your face because everybody is afraid of police, which it shouldn't be so, because we should be able to run to them. When anything going on, we should be able to run to them. You're not supposed to be running away from those who are protecting us. It's like you have your parents at home and you're running away from your parents,
Yes, I absolutely agree. But I'm glad to hear that there is still that general current of community support, that people still remember Mario, that people still remember his case.
I don't want to cut in on you, but I don't want to forget to say this, because even when I'm speaking of other people, JFJ was always there with me.
Yes,
was
thank
always.
you.
If they can't be with me in Montego Bay, they will make the link to the media. They will make the link for them to come out. So I can't forget that. They was always with me. They call, that court is going on at this time. Just reminding me that court is going on. And if I say I'm protesting, who cannot come will always call and said, give the media information that I will be there. So, yes. I can't leave that out.
Yes, and we are privileged to have been able to help you along that journey. Yes. So I'm gonna ask you to stay with us just a few minutes more. We're coming up on another break. But when we come back, I just want to hear from you. What, if anything, you think our government needs to do, or courts, whoever it is, to ensure that Mario is finally able to rest peacefully and this matter is resolved in a sooner rather than later time frame. So just stay with us for a few more. We'll take the break.
The new KFC Nuggets. Delicious, crispy, juicy, original recipe nuggets. With KFC Nuggets, you'll never settle for less. The time by KFC Nuggets is
1:30.
Do you know someone who has been affected by breast cancer? Were they able to receive the treatment they needed? Every year, hundreds of Jamaican women are being diagnosed. Sadly, not all can afford the treatment they need, but you can help. Jamaica Reach to Recovery and ICWI present the ICWI Pink Run. Put on your tutus and tall socks for this year's color edition. Get ready to run, walk, and have fun. Sunday, October 29, Hope Botanical Gardens. Visit pinkrunjm.com for more information and to register.
KFC, news flash, everybody hear this. KFC bringing you the brand new nuggets. Dip it, bite it, enjoy it. Made with real chicken, there's no other like this. This is the game changer. This is what we want. Choose the original recipe flavor. Tastes so good. KFC finger licking good. Brand new nugget.
The new KFC Nuggets. Delicious, crispy, juicy, original recipe nuggets made with 100% white meat. With KFC Nuggets, you'll never settle for less. KFC, the real nuggets. It's finger-licking good.
Listen up, Jamaica. At Fosrich, everybody's getting a solar water heater. $20,000 deposit. 6 months to pay. What a deal! Fosrich Financing. Call us 876-937-5099.
Come back to Jamaica to the 33rd Annual Maritone Music Family Reunion and Homecoming, October 27 to 30, 2023. Join us at the Four Diamond All-Inclusive Hyatt Rose Hall Resort in Montego Bay. Maritone group rates are available for a limited time. Check out our reunion 3-tour room special and save. Bring your friends, bring your family, bring your dancing shoes. Kingston events start October 21. Visit www.maritonemusic.com or call 954-558-2002. Sponsored by Jamaica Tourist Board.
This is Ernie Smith, and you are tuned in to the Bridge 99 FM. The Bridge 99 FM to the world.
The people's champion. Our mission is love. Our vision is love. Jamaicans for justice. The people's champion.
Welcome back to Let's Start Justice. We have been talking about the case of Mario Deane, and we have been joined by his mother, Mercia Fraser. And it's been a great conversation so far. And you know, we've talked a lot about challenges, we've talked a lot about the delays, we've talked a lot about how you have coped with those issues, Mercia. But now I want us to shift a little, and I want to ask you, what, if anything, I know you've seen a lot of different reasons, a lot of different challenges. What are some of the things you think our government can be looking at to change so that some of these issues don't come up again in other cases, but also things that you think can be changed to help Mario's case now?
All right. So that these things don't happen again. First of all, I think our young people don't educate enough. Education is one of the key things that can bring our youth out of some of the things that they are going through, right? And through education, I think that's the single most important thing right now for our youth. Educate. So if we can give free education, the youth that sit on the corner, maybe out of high school and that, they must get a trade. They must get a trade, and it should be made mandatory. So you have boys in school who you know, the brain not there for the book. They don't like the book and that. But there must be something that they can do useful with their hands. Mm-hmm. Train them in such a way that they can go and make a business for themselves. That's number one. For the case with Mario, and this, you know, it keeps puzzling me. I don't understand the law. I know nothing about the law. This is the closest I get to knowing stuff about the law. And one of the things I'm looking forward to, especially when it's reached down to COVID time, and I said, you know, your jurors and couldn't come in court, I do not see why the judge could not try them. This is a government business. And every government business, actually every business run by laws, right? You have policies and laws run every business. Mm-hmm. And by law, the police breach so many of the laws. Why can't you try them on that? Why
Yeah.
can't you just try them on that? You're breaking laws. Why can't they try them on that? Right? I was about to say something else. All right, don't remember, but clearly, and if you can't done by change judging them, why can't it move from Montego Bay to somewhere else where you can find strange people to the case, strange people to the police, so you can find jurors out of that. You might be able to have people come in then and try the case then.
Yes.
So there must be something that can be done.
Yeah, I think those are some good recommendations, and I agree that we need to take stock of the case, take stock of the challenges, and try to find those solutions. I agree with you that maybe some of the challenges that we're seeing with the jurors might be a location issue. So if we move the matter, we might be able to see more available jurors and have the matter finalized in a sooner time rather than later.
I clearly believe that they just want to wear me out, and then I just step aside, and then everything done. I believe that, and I don't know if you can still be anything that can change judge of a thought, and that it's just like wearing me like from the beginning, like they intimidate, and that now it's like don't even matter. I'm in court and see somebody come to court. The man just clearly resigning work and just take off. They don't want to be a part of it because it's drawn out and that. And, it's crazy and it's crazy. It's just crazy and it's just...
Yes, well, I hear you say, they might be trying to wear you out. But for sure, we will be there. So even if you wear out, we will be standing strong, making sure that the matter moves forward as it should. But, there are some requests that we are hoping to be made in public sometime later this week. We just need to finalize a few things internally before we do so. But Miss Fraser, I appreciate you coming on the show. I know that this has been a moment of, a continued journey of just trying to see justice be done and having to grapple with these continuous delays. As you would have said, it's been extremely taxing on not just you, but the family as well. And most certainly, just even our members of JFJ who would have been supporting you along are certainly frustrated as well to see that after all this time we are still here. However, we will continue to advocate for expeditious moves in Mario's case, and we'll do our part as JFJ to work towards some reforms that can hopefully mitigate some of these issues having to do with jury selection, for example, and the support that jurors receive. Because, if you're fearful for your life, you might be more likely to fulfill your duty if you would get some sort of protection or adequate compensation, so there are some recommendations that will be coming from JFJ to support this, and of course we will continue to support you as we look forward to our resolution in this. So thank you again for joining us, Miss Fraser. I don't know if you have any last words.
Thank you, and thank JFJ for all his support, the mentorship, the family support, bringing in other people to talk to us. I always feel good after I come to a meeting. Always relax my mind, give me more to think about. And, so I'm grateful for JFJ, I tell you the truth, because JFJ helped me a lot.
All right, thank you so much, Miss Fraser, and we are grateful for you as well. All right.
Blessings.
Okay. So we're going to move quickly now into the second half of our show. And we have 2-3 or so matters that we want to quickly cover that would have been coming out of last week. First of those that I'm going to talk about is another set of Haitian migrants would have arrived in Jamaica on Sunday. 35 persons would have arrived in Long Bay Port Portland, who were immediately taken into custody and subsequently returned to Haiti. This would have been the second batch of 3 that would have been returned to Haiti. Of course, Freedom Imaginaries, some of our partners, would have tried to intervene. I heard Malene, Freedom Imaginaries Executive Director, this morning speaking on another radio show about the issue. And there are several things that are concerning to us as JFJ. Firstly, we would have already supported Freedom Imaginaries' previous public statements on this issue of Haitian migration and refugee status. But of course, these newer groups are raising additional concerns because, as Malene would have rightfully said, these persons have a right to due process. These persons have a right to be able to access an attorney. And being an attorney, showing up within a few hours of their arrival and doing her utmost to be able to speak with them and consult with them, she was denied. So she spoke in her interview about an inspector letting her know when they were at the health facility that she would not be allowed to speak with them. When they were at the police facility, she would not be allowed to speak with them. And then she was able to see when they were shifted out with a bus back to the port and sent back to Haiti. So these persons were not afforded that due process. Now, one of our obligations is that persons who are seeking this refugee status are to be assessed individually. And one of the challenges that would have been brought by representatives of the government against these groups is that there are criminals amongst the group, that there are persons in the group that are smugglers, that there are persons in the group that are traffickers, whatever the offense is. However, it's impossible for us to know if that is so, as these individuals are not assessed on an individual basis. They are considered as a group and returned as a group. And one of the things that our refugee convention says is that your irregular entry does not constitute a basis for you not to be considered for refugee status. So the fact that they would have arrived here via boat without notifying the port, without having the correct travel documents, is not material to allowing due process and to allowing each individual to be assessed in their own matter to see if they qualify. Now, what we would have seen out of these 35 persons, they weren't all grown men. Some of these persons were women, some of these persons were children who would have been sent back into an environment that we have acknowledged internationally and publicly through our Prime Minister is a situation that is untenable for human beings to survive and for human rights. And so, having made a commitment to support our neighbors in Haiti, I think that commitment must go further than allowing for military support or allowing for personal support. When there are persons seeking refuge, we must allow their matters to go through the proper channels, be properly assessed, and finalized. And I know that Freedom Imaginaries continues to work with the first group of Haitians that would have been brought here. They have made the asylum application on their behalf. We had them on the show a few weeks ago talking about the progress in that matter, so it is still ongoing. But since then, they have tried to intervene in the last 2 landings and were unable to do so due to restriction. So we need some clarity. We need to know if there has been a change in our official policy as to how refugees can arrive here, or is it that something needs to be done to ensure that we've regularized this process and these persons are able to access their right to due process as refugees. So we're going to take the break. When we come back, we have 2 more brief topics to discuss and then our trivia for today, or response.
Yo, dancehall can't start when the money must shot the content.
Right.
Introduce Introducing the Bridge 99 FM Dance Hall Chart Show.
I are the one and they are what?
All about our weekly top 10 music countdown, our Bridge Spotlight featuring artists and music producers, and our chat with the Bridge Jocks and music director.
We bring you in on the action. Just send your videos every week for your favorite artists on the chart in our Fan Affairs segment. Do it WhatsApp 876-551-5782.
Jogger!
It's new, it's authentic, it's trend setting, and only on the Bridge 99 FM Dance Hall Chart Show, hosted by Shell.
You know the vibes this Friday at 1 p.m. at the wickedest thing since dancehall. You know the thing go, we're bringing the vibes to the where, to the what, to the world.
Hi, I'm Ronald Thwaites, and I'm the host of The Public Eye and The Open Mind on the Bridge 99 and Irie Jam in the tri-state area. This program will tell you the truth about life backyard. Fair, open talk. No gossip, no slander. We want to listen to your concerns. Also want to help you with your problems in JA. We at The Bridge rate you and affirm our oneness as citizens of this blessed land we love. So join us now on Wednesdays on The Bridge, crossing the waters, linking Jamaicans and Jamaican lovers everywhere.
Never wanna give this love to no one but you. Tell Bridge Jamaica we love you. Bridge 99, we love you. Bridge 99 FM, couldn't be better. The people's champion. Our mission is love. Our vision is love.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Justice. We are in the final segment of the show, and we're going to be talking about right now an article I saw in the Gleaner. I think it was Sunday, entitled Bail Fury. And in the article, there was a discussion of law enforcement officers having negative feelings towards the Chief Justice as he would have granted bail to someone in a matter who they believe should not have been granted bail. Now, firstly, we'd just like to point out that this gentleman was not able to take up the bail that he was granted. However, it is frustrating to see opinions that have laid blame at the Chief Justice as though he has not considered the factors that are affecting the matter. So I do want to say first that bail is a human right. It is not a consideration. It is not a privilege. It is a human right under our Charter of Fundamental Rights and Freedoms. Similarly, under that same charter, in your right to due process, you have the right to be innocent until proven guilty, right? Those two things come together because you have your right to freedom of movement, freedom of the person, and liberty. So for those rights to be restricted, there have to be good reasons for that restriction, right? So in this matter, in particular, the one that was being discussed in the paper that day, there has been numerous delays with the DNA evidence report necessary to move the matter forward. At this time, the Chief Justice would be holding a gentleman who has not been proven guilty on the basis that a government agency has been unable to expeditiously, as is his right, provide the information necessary to conclude his matter or for his matter to be heard. And so in that vein, the Chief Justice granted bail in the matter. Now, this is not the first time that the Chief Justice has taken drastic action in a matter due to delay. As we would have seen, I believe it was earlier this year, there was several lotto scamming defendants that would have been discharged as a result of delays related to the reports that would have come out of the devices that were used for the lotto scamming. Now, it's not as though these reports that the Chief Justice is requiring are not integral to the resolution of these cases. They are. And therefore, if much of your evidence relies on a report that cannot be produced after years and years of this person being in custody, there has to be a consideration for this person's right to liberty and this person's right to freedom of movement and freedom of the person. Now, as we would have said, bail within itself is a right. What we cannot be moving towards, and we've passed through the gate because it's something we're already moving towards. I'm not going to get too much into current or new to come bail provisions, but we would have considered at least pre-charge detention in order for the gathering of evidence. Now, JFJ has made this point many a time in many a submission, but there has to be greater emphasis on the methods of gathering evidence, how we are storing and transmitting that evidence, as many times the issues that we are outraged at the court for are problems that became problems from that stage, in that evidentiary stage. So if we're going to be talking about the DNA, in that same Glean article, there was a discussion with the head of the only facility in Jamaica that can process this kind of evidence. And this facility is severely understaffed, severely underfunded, and would have maybe 40%, according to their investigation, according to their numbers, 40% below the necessary number of staff. And this is just the capacity of the facility. This does not take into account the fact that degraded samples are a huge aspect of why it takes so long for the results to come back. The fact that the samples were not properly transported, were not properly stored, how long it took for the samples to be taken from the subject and brought to the lab. All of those factors affect how long it takes for a report to be prepared. And these failings are in every single step of the process. So it is for us now to look at where these failings actually are, rather than the end result of these failings, which is the discharge of a matter, or a person being granted bail in a matter they otherwise would not have been. I mean, DNA evidence is necessary for a firearms case. This was a firearms case. The DNA evidence has not been provided. That's the challenge the Chief Justice has. So I hope that the emphasis that we have put in our submissions on focusing on the root causes of our issues rather than trying to mitigate our reactions to the issues has been heard, and we look forward to seeing some sort of indication that there will be an improvement in these systems. I know for the DNA evidence labs, they would have conducted their own audit and will be submitting something to the Ministry of Finance in hopes of increasing that capacity at the facility. So we look forward to seeing how that goes. The final thing that I will speak about is related to our Prime Minister, our Honorable Prime Minister, would have spoken about the government's intention of increasing, strengthening our GBV laws. So this is something that we have been hearing, and we are grateful to hear that it is again a matter of priority. It is something that we have been working towards as JFJ, making submissions on. I believe it could be earlier this year, but I think last year as well, we would have done open letters in relation to gender-based violence and domestic violence. And so we are grateful to see that that is something that will be becoming a serious matter for consideration now. And this was in response to the murder rate, where the murder rate would have shifted now away from gang-related violence and shifted towards domestic gender-based violence. So we look forward to seeing those pieces of legislation strengthened. In particular, for JFJ's agenda, we would have spoken extensively about the Domestic Violence Act, strengthening those orders in the Act. We would have also spoken about reviewing the way how our sentencing guidelines work as it relates to certain serious offenses, including serious offenses of sexual violence and in particular sexual violence against children, and several other recommendations that we would have made. So we look forward to seeing what those amendments will look like on the government's agenda. So, finally, in the show, we would do our trivia or winner. So just for the due diligence, last week we did 3 trivias. We only announced 1 winner, but we did have 2 other winners, and that was for our special 50th episode giveaway trivia. So we had 2. The first question was, what was our first topic on the first episode of Let's Start Justice? And the winner of that question last week was Azasaji, and the answer was mandatory minimum sentences for firearm offenses. That was our first episode of Let's Start Justice. And the second giveaway trivia question last week was, what is the name of our first radio show and where did it air? And we were responded to correctly by the Centered Scribe, and the response was The Community Lawyer, and it aired on Roots FM, and that was the correct answer. So this week's trivia was, name 3 categories of persons who are exempt from jury duty in Jamaica. And that response, we got several responses this week, but the person that was identified is Inda We Trust, and the answer they gave was ministers of religion, medical doctors, and the university lecturers. So, and they are correct. So one of the issues that we've acknowledged with jury duty as well is that that duty is something that many persons are exempt from, including myself as an attorney at law. But the categories are wide, and I did hear Justice Minister Delroy Chuck speaking about it so a while back, saying that those categories may need to be narrowed in order to address some of the issues that we have with the availability of jurors. Okay. Well, we are at the end of our show. Well, we basically have 2 minutes left. But I think that one of the things that you are going to be seeing more from us is some of our waiting in vain cases. Mario Deane's case was one of them, but there are several others who have significant delays and issues related to those that we would have seen in Mario Deane's, like Michael Lee's case, for example. So keep watching our social channels where we'll be talking more about those issues, and hopefully you definitely see more about Mario Deane in the next coming weeks. So I am Jade Williams. I'm the Policy and Advocacy Specialist at Jamaicans for Justice. And this was Let's Start Justice. We'll be back next week at 1 p.m. Tuesday. So we'll see you then.
Jamaicans for Justice, the people's champion. Justice, justice for all. Justice under the law. Justice, Jamaica demand. Right to life, right to liberty. Out of many we are one in a Jamaica. Make it a better place for the boys and girls. Created equal by the creator. For equal rights and opportunities. No to unlawful detention and police brutalization. Class, gender, race or religion. We not tolerate discrimination.
To join the fight against injustice, contact us at 755-4524 or Jamaicans4Justice.org.
The people's champion.
Hey yo, you know it's Bounty Killer checking out Bridge 99 Bridging the gap. The bridging will never stop.
If you're in business, get on the bridge. 876-669-5000. If you're in business, get